Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Dr. Mike Mills, and we are all in for a treat tonight. Look at those professional people. I love that, Chris. Thank you so much. And these episodes, the last Monday of every month, are called Health Pros Live. And this is your opportunity to ask questions to healthcare professionals that relate to your health journey. And so feel free to start right now going into the chat. And if you have a question, something you'd like to know more about, please just jump in there. And as we're going through this evening, we are going to use the questions that you're asking to engage and create an amazing opportunity. You could be here tonight and this is your very first day on program, and you are super excited. And so if that's you, welcome. This is a major part of your journey, is being able to tap into all of these other resources that go along with your meal plan. If you've been here for a while, welcome back. We're glad you're here. So I am joined tonight with two fellow chiropractors, colleagues that I have known for a long time, and I am blessed with the opportunity to not just call them partners on this health coaching mission and colleagues in the chiropractic profession, but also friends. And what I know about them that is really more important than all of their credentials is their heart. And they have all those credentials, right? The Started in chiropractic, specialties in nutrition and lifestyle and all of those things. But at the end of the day, what makes that all matter is that their heart for this mission, the heart for you to succeed on this program, and really for us to go out and further this mission, which is to help get this world optimally healthy and well. So, Lynn, great to see you tonight. Dr. JC, great to see you tonight. Lynn, I thought maybe I would start with you this evening. And, I know that in our professional lives that there are things coming across our desks and our practices every day. People are stopping in with opportunities. And, you know, I just thought it would be great for everybody to hear what it is about Optavia and the Habits of Health system that really allowed it to become uh, your lighthouse. What you're anchored to. What is it about this program that really caused you to make this your anchor?
Well, thank you so much, Mike. And I'm like so honored to be here with you guys. I mean, I have looked up to both of you so much in our journey through, this Optivist experience. And it has fit so well with my lifestyle and my whole, outlook and youthful training in life is that, to be optimistic is a healthy thing for everyone. And one of the things that I really loved about Optavia, you know, we started not knowing what it was. It was a weight loss program. And my husband was obese and he was horrified because he was a chiropractor. And here we are giving people, lifestyle advice. And here we were out of balance. And so when he went on the program, and our health coach, which one of the things that you ask your question is how is it different? There's real humans here. These people are real humans and they're really cool humans. And when we first went to our very first convention, like a month after getting into coaching, didn't really know anything what we were talking about, but we were like, hey, this program's so easy. Our health coach is a cardiologist, he knows everything. And so when we experienced such great results and realized how simple the program is to follow for Joe Average, our patients in our office that were struggling more and more. I mean, I've been in practice. Well, I'm not really practicing in the office anymore, but for 38 years, we just saw the transition of the health of America. And we would get people selling supplements, selling I don't know, everything from soup to nuts, something that came from a glacier, something that, I don't know, all kinds of crazy stuff. But when we had our own experience with it and figured out, wow, this addresses everything, not just nutrition, not just exercise, not just the things that most weight loss or health programs address, but it addressed everything, including the mindset thing, which was huge, 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 huge. And so we got excited about having it in our practice because it was so different and because it did holistically. I mean, we're holistic healthcare providers, right? It holistically included like everything. And it was just something that it made our ears perk up and say, wow, this could be such a huge help for our patients, for humanity, because there's real humans, there's coaches involved.
Yeah, that one-on-one interaction is so powerful. Um, Human connection, human relationships are so important in transformation of any kind, and so powerful. And thanks so much for sharing that, JC. You know, I think one of the amazing parts about your story is that you have been an Optavia health coach for 19 years now, right? In 19 years, there's been a lot of things come and go in the health industry. A lot of things change. This is like really great. I love the technology we're able to use here. So, there's always some, new special route found in the Amazon and all these things, but you have stayed right here, connected to the Habits of Health system, Dr. A's mission, and Optavia. What is it about Optavia and this program that has allowed you for 19 years to stay just as passionate today as you were 19 years ago?
Maybe even more passionate.
Yeah.
Um, Honor and privilege to be here. I know that there's people out there that have just started program, and God, I see all these questions that I want to answer. We'll get to that in a second. But just thanks for having me. So yeah, I mean, I never knew I was going to be doing this for so long, but what I know is that when I signed up to become a chiropractor, a degree in nutrition, it was pretty simple. That was kind of the way I was raised up, with a natural, approach to healthcare. I mean, my parents were both professional athletes and grew up out of a garden and all that stuff. So that's all I knew. So that's why I chose chiropractic. I resonated with taking a natural approach to health. Um, but what happens when you get into the throes of your practice is you start to see what the reality is of taking care of people, and also your lifestyle. You can't, have only one option that is supposed to be the answer for so many people. And I was actually pretty good at convincing people that what I did was all they needed. But deep down inside, my desire was to help people get results. So that will only work so long. When I saw obesity, all I could do was teach people what they should do, but they weren't like me. So that was a struggle. And meanwhile, working 85, 90 hours a week, I put on 80 pounds. That's how I originally found Optavia. I was like, Houston, we have a problem here. Incongruency. But, I'd smell alcohol on somebody's breath, or cigarette smoke, or hear about divorce, financial stress, and the lifestyle components. And I had nothing to offer that. And I guess I would say that, as somebody that legitimately wants to help people, you hit a wall, and it's frustrating, and you just start to say, I don't feel like I can help the big problem. So it started off with me, like Dr. Lynn, and it's so fun to be here with you, by the way. Um, I went on the program, and, for those of you that have been on our program, you know what happens. It was miraculous. I mean, not only did I drop weight, but I mean, I don't know if there's a disclaimer for this, but I had mental clarity. I could see things, and, I mean, my whole life changed as a result of it. So naturally I'm like, this thing in here. And all of a sudden I had this multi-dimensional tool. And this is 19 years ago, guys. Things have changed. Things have enhanced like you can't believe. I mean, all of our fuelings back then, they weren't even called fuelings. They had artificial colors, flavors, and sweeteners in them. I mean, like this is like the Cadillac, what we have now. But you know what? It just worked. Everybody that went on the program completely transformed. And I just got hooked on that. And, second to that, what I realized is that I did want to help people, but Mike, you and I resonate with this. What I really wanted more than anything was to be a dad and a husband and maybe have a little bit of a life as well. So, the coaching element allowed me to start my process that led up to about 9 years ago of retiring. So the last thing I'll say there is that, the guy at the helm of this thing, Dr. A, um, he's never been wrong about anything. He's always had his finger on the pulse of this fast changing landscape that we talk about so much. And this company and our partners I mean, like, it's unbelievable how they just know what's coming. And Optavia is just constantly evolving to serve the masses. So why would I leave? I mean, I've just got this dream situation here where I can help people, you know, scream in here from my daughter's jujitsu practice right now. Yeah, so I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I love it. And I resonate with that so much. Um, Results matter, right?
Yeah,
Results matter, and helping people
should
get
be all that matters.
yeah. So, and that's really what it came down to for me, after, um, I was 17 years in practice of working with all kinds of different systems to try to address this lifestyle component before I was introduced to Optavia. And, when we're all chiropractors, right? So there's some questions in here about, you know, back pain and things like that. And sometimes people can think, man, what you mean what I eat has something to do with my back hurting, or something I think, how I'm managing stress could have something with that. And so I think we all resonate with that to some degree. We realize that, yes, being fit and strong and having good spinal and structural alignment in our body is important, but there's more to pain than just, you know, a joint being stuck, right? So, how would we share with someone, Lynn? How would we share with someone, how does lifestyle affect pain in your body?
That is so huge, and it's something that people don't think about. And I'm listening to JC, and we're talking about, frustration and how we used to think, oh yeah, get the spine aligned and everything will be perfect. Well, that's such a short-sighted thing. When you think about how your mind works, and your mind can create disease in your body. If you get excess cortisol because you're stressed all the time, that's going to be an adverse effect on your physicality. And okay, let's take a little train trip to the other part of our world, from your mind to your physical body too. And I just saw something fun on the chat that one of my clients is saying, and she sent me this big glowing thing today about the fact that what she's doing with her body, and creating health for herself, and her husband's always been the one that's bringing home the cookies and the ice cream and all that junk. And now she said, oh my God, my husband is eating a salad for dinner and he's following what I'm doing. So not only is this person helping their own mindset and helping their own body reduce inflammation and reduce stress and all the things. So much of Dr. A, and JC, you said it, the guy is so ahead of his time, so ahead of his time. And he has been saying, and now it's being backed up by the rest of medical science, that the quality of our thoughts and our emotions are one of the biggest causes of most disease these days.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if we can, you know, figure out, wow, this is a part of our lives, guess what? It's a part of somebody else's life too. It's a part of the ripple effect. Jackie, thank you. Truly, you getting healthier is going to help everyone around you. So, I don't even know if I answered the question really well, but I just see so much positive benefit to, managing your emotions, managing your mindset, managing your sleep, all the things that Optavia is all about, because all of those things count with regards to creating a healthy body. And I think I can't remember what the famous JC Dornick-ism is about on top of a
On a,
healthy.
it's on a healthy body that a healthy mind rests.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Mike, can I jump
Yeah,
on
I'd
that
love it.
same
I'd love it.
question?
Go ahead.
So, things have just gotten completely out of control. That's one thing that I just want to state. That's one, as kind of like a historian, I've seen humanity just kind of like sleepwalk. It's crazy. And I just want everybody to remember, and this is a chiropractic philosophy, but it's one that Optavia embraces as well. The human body was made to express health, right? So when we start feeding it with things that promote disease, that's where you start to have issues with, you see some of these blood pressure, cholesterol. And I know that some people are like born with things. I get that. But most people, have problems that they don't need to have. And then you look at inflammation and joint pain. I'm 54 years old. And I'm going to the gym and I mean my body hurts a little more than it did back in the day, but I just want everybody to understand that your body is fully equipped to express health. So I could just share something that will answer like 80% of these questions that are coming. Because a lot of people want to know, does the program help with this? Does the program help with that? If I have this, and Mike was saying before about eating and things like that. If you allow your body to not have to work so hard to manage all of the toxins that we're putting in our, you're not just as simple as drinking more water and nourishing yourself and having macronutrient and not carrying the burden and stress of being overweight. And listen, I was 80 pounds overweight, so I'm one to talk. But your body will manifest its highest level of optimal health. So all of these challenges that people are asking, does Optavia, you don't need a disclaimer for this. Here's what you got to know. If you achieve whatever optimal health is for you, all things are possible. So it's not that Optavia gets rid of these problems. Getting healthy does. The best way to treat disease is by manifesting health. There's nothing better than you can do for yourself than to get healthy. And I just want to share one thing here. For those of you that have this book, right? You're amidst royalty here because I'm actually the hand model for page 198. And I just want to share that with everybody. That's my hand right there.
Beautiful. It is a beautiful hand, JC. I sometimes just flip to that page and just to look at your hand. But so true. I mean, at the end of the day, uh, what does lifestyle do? It gives us the ability to remove anything that's interfering with the body and provide the body with what it needs for sufficiency. If the body is not being interfered with and we provide it with everything that it needs for sufficiency, it is in an optimal state to handle whatever's going on in our body, right? So inflammation is a big one. And I don't think a lot of times we realize Dr. A has an entire element in the life book on inflammation because it is a precursor to so many diseases. And one of the best things that the program does very quickly is reduces inflammation and swelling. Sometimes people will say when they lose that weight fast in the beginning, they say it was just water weight. Well, it was dirty, filthy, recirculating, inflammatory water that was actually interfering with the function of your body, right? And so when we get that inflammation out of there, right, it makes a huge difference. I saw a question in there about that that weight around the midsection, right? And a lot of times people will ask me questions about, like, how do I target exercise my midsection, And it makes me every so often think of the Dukes of Hazzard. Remember when Boss Hogg used to stand on this machine with a belt that went around him trying to target his
That's right.
belly? But it didn't really affect because he was eating at the boar's nest, right? And that was really the problem. So, but that belly fat we know is visceral fat, right? And it is the most deadly fat we can have on our body. But you can't really target fat in one area. But what you can do is get your body into a fat burning state, and that is so unique. And JC, I know we've talked about this on our health professional calls that just the power of skeletal muscle and how important it is to
Mm.
sustain skeletal muscle as we're losing weight. And, we do have a clinical trial that shows that the 5-in-1 program sustains 98% of your lean muscle mass, right? So we're preserving the metabolic engine of our body, the metabolism driver of our body, So, I guess I'll just open this up to both of you guys. So for these people that are talking about, what do I do? A lot of times, Lynn, maybe people in the women in the menopausal, premenopausal, perimenopausal season of life, they're working on that. What have you seen happen with your clients struggling with that issue of that weight around the midsection on our fat burning program?
Well, it's been a lot of fun, frankly, and because I'm 70, I'm one of those
I don't
ones.
believe that, by the
It
way.
is.
I went paddleboarding yesterday and got beat to death in the ocean. I mean, I got hit in the nose with my board. I was like, okay, fine, I got out. And then I rode a bike for 2 hours in the afternoon. And so, staying physically healthy has nothing to do with your age. I mean, certain things will happen, and we are the sum total of the good and the bad things that have happened to us in our lives. But with women, and I hear it all the time, the thing about, oh, well, I'm going through menopause, so this is, the way this happens when you're going through menopause. This happens when you get old. You're just going to gain more weight. Okay, let's get logical here. When you were 25 years old and you were pretty muscular, as a young person, and you weighed a certain amount, and now you weigh 20 pounds more, you know that you have way less muscle because we lose muscle as we age, right? And I hope that tonight we can talk a little bit about like the weight loss drugs, because that is such a scary, hairy, scary thing to me. But over time, if you're getting heavier and you're not like bodybuilding and really eating the essential amino acids and eating the perfect amount of protein for you, saw somebody that said protein, what should I have? Ask your coach. Um, you are gaining more fat and gaining more fat, which is not healthy for you at all. So when you go on the fat burning program, your body's going to take it off where it's been storing it the most. And if you're stressed out and you have some hormone problems, yeah, it's going to go right there, and that's going to tremendously help that body fat in your middle. And like you said, the visceral body fat is like the worst thing on the world. Your waist is supposed to be smaller than your hips, y'all. So that's, just kind of a minor thing, but can we talk just for a minute about like the weight loss meds?
Yeah, and I think Optavia has a very healthy perspective there in that, we know that a lot of people are choosing that option as a way for them to navigate the food noise and food addiction that can exist out there. And we just want to make sure that if someone is making that choice, that they're nourishing their body effectively, because there is a higher risk of losing skeletal muscle, and we know that skeletal muscle is vitally important, right? And so supporting that skeletal muscle with things like essential amino acids and complete, high quality. People talk about, you ever hear them advertise high quality protein. Well, why is Optavia high quality protein? Because it's complete. It has all the essential amino acids. And remember, in the world of nutrition, if they use the word essential, that means that we have to ingest it. Our body can't make it. So that's why they're essential amino acids. So JC, we just have a few minutes left, you know.
He had to make sure he said that so I don't go on a run right now.
So, what
Well, I
would you
mean, can I just address something that you guys
Yeah.
have said, and I'll make it quick. So first of all, I just got back from the gym, and I've been working out doing CrossFit for a long time. My greatest success in the gym is that I can now hang grip strength wise from a bar for 1 minute. Now, if somebody thinks that that's easy to do, go do that. That is very, very hard for a 190 pound 54-year-old man. But grip strength and skeletal, lean muscle mass is so important. That's a picture of me. Chris is so funny. That's me in the gym right there. You are such a character. Thank you, Chris. But what you want to do is when you're 70, be able to open up a jar, right? But here's just one quick thing, just about, you know, it's like in Blockbuster videos, they say be kind and rewind. If you want to rewind and reverse your age, you have to be kind to your body. And there is something in your body called innate intelligence, and that is a chiropractic thing, but it's universal. And that's the part of your body that controls and coordinates all things that you don't have a say in, like healing, your heart pumping, and all of those things. I just challenge everybody to say, are you being kind to your body? Because if you're feeding your body things that are toxic or medications unnecessarily, whatever it is that you're doing, if you are kind to your body, that innate intelligence will take care of everything. And for those of you looking to lose that visceral weight around your waist, I would start by saying, why did the weight get put on there? Right? If I'm telling you right now, trust that your body, if you're kind to it, and that's what I think this program does. It's just about being kind to your body, and your body will be kind back and take care of everything. But we live in a society where we like want everything done just the way we want. But when we were gaining the weight in our waist, like we weren't paying attention to that. So just be kind to your body. That's a great way to look at program. It's just a way of being kind to your body, and your body will take care of you in return.
That's so good. I love that. And, Dr. A gave us 6 macro habits of health to work on, right? And healthy food and nutrition is one of them. But sleep and movement and mental health and all of those things are a component of it. Well, guys, a lot of what we're talking about tonight is metabolic health, right? Literally how our body takes and processes the food and how metabolically flexible we are, right? Our ability to be able to flow between fat burning and sugar burning and all the things that we want our body to do. So, coming up, starting on September 1st, we have the Brain and Body Reset Challenge. And this one is a metabolic makeover. So, if you would like to optimize your metabolism, optimize your metabolic health, you are going to want to tap in to this challenge that we're starting on September 1st. So, how do you get connected up? Reach out to your coach if you'd like to join this challenge. Looks like Chris is putting some podcast information in the notes. Says all of these are recorded; they're put on podcast, so make sure that you can listen in at any time. But connect with your coach if you'd like to join the metabolic makeover. There's no cost to be involved unless you're like that ultra competitive person that you want to try to win a prize. Then you can throw some money in there and you can join us. But we'll be back next week for Let's Talk, and we are going to be getting everybody set up for the Brain and Body Reset Metabolic Makeover. So thanks for joining us again tonight. Awesome seeing you all, and have a great evening.